Gervonta Davis, Devin Haney is a bigger super fight than Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. Fact or fiction? What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Cardinal Red Sports. Let's talk about it. Alright, y'all. So, a lot of rumors floating around about this Devin Haney, Gervonta Davis potential super fight coming to fruition. I just want to break down whether this is a bigger super fight than the Errol Spence versus Terrence Bud Crawford fight that went down earlier in 2023, and why. Is this fact or fiction for anybody listening?
This fight is like Crips and Bloods. Like, you got people who swear by Tank, and you got people who swear by Dev. I think that fight would be more intriguing because so many people want to see Devin Haney get knocked out or lose. So many people want to see Tank lose. Could Dev be that guy that beat the big bad Tank? If Tank put his hands on Dev's chin, is he going out?
Alright, y'all. So, Gervonta Davis, Devin Haney, making a case for why this is a bigger super fight than Spence versus Crawford. Here's the thing. When it came to that Spence versus Crawford fight, the reason I think it was so big, even though it didn't do as good as numbers as the Gervonta Davis-Ryan Garcia fight, it was still built up as one of the biggest fights in the sport of boxing.
You gotta be kidding me! How did he do it? Did he get it? Oh my God! It could have been an RKO in midair! An RKO in midair!
And, you know, I think because of the way it came together is the reason the numbers didn't kind of match up with the hype. But, you know, it still was, to me, the second biggest fight of 2023. Now, I think it was the first biggest fight when it came to the draw and when it came to the hype. But when it came to the numbers, the Gervonta Davis-Ryan Garcia fight, I think, should be number one in terms of sales, you know, of a super fight. But I think when it came to the hype, the reason that hype was so big was because it got built up for so many years. Now, I think this is one of the things that boxing fans hate the most about boxing.
The mission is definitely blown.
Being doesn't sound so bad now, does it?
Oh, it's bad. It's going to cost you $2,000 at least to fix. Not to mention your brake pads are completely bald.
I've got something else that's completely bald.
Your tires. Yeah, I saw that. I think you could ride those puppies out for another 10,000 miles.
I bet you've got something I could ride for 10,000 miles.
Nope. The shop does not provide transportation while working on your vehicle. You can contact your insurance provider, though. They'll get you a vehicle.
Is that it takes so long for a lot of these fights to come together, but at the same time, sometimes they need that hype train behind them. I think Spence versus Crawford needed that hype train behind it. Now, I don't think it needed that long of a hype train. I believe it was like 5 years, maybe 6 years it took for that fight to come together. I don't think it needed that long. I think if they would have done it the previous year, I think you would have saw the numbers hit somewhere around 2 million buys, because the hype for that fight the summer before, the summer of 22, man, it was so big, it was ridiculous.
They put their hands on you.
But I think the hype train kind of died down. I think fans started to jump off the hype train because they didn't believe the fight was actually going to happen. And then you had the whole Terrence Crawford situation with David Avanzian kind of throwing some more salt on the wound. And the fight just kind of came together in the middle of the night, got announced, you know, and the fight happened, and it didn't sell as well as the hype train. You know, the hype train was so long and so big, you would have thought that fight would have easily did 1 million pay-per-view buys, but it did end up being under 1 million pay-per-view buys. So I think because of the hype train, it was so big, and I think because of the hype train, it didn't sell as well. I think if the hype wasn't so long, maybe a year, 2 years before, it would have really sold well. But because, you know, shady dealings and money kind of pulled things apart the previous year, it didn't end up selling as well. Now, when you compare Gervonta Davis, Devin Haney to Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford, you got to wonder, okay, so fans are really invested in Gervonta Davis. You can tell fans really like Davis, and the main reason they like Davis is most of his fights end with a big-time knockout. He looks dominant in every fight, and they end with spectacular endings. You know, that all his fights have miraculous, spectacular endings, and it's very interesting to watch. It draws a lot of fans in. And then you got Devin Haney, a great boxer, great skill sets, sticks with his fundamentals, and I think a lot of people like that about him. They like the fact that, you know, they get to watch his skill sets on display in every fight. Doesn't have that big knockout ratio, but still has a wow factor about him because of his boxing skills.
Your haters is your marketing team. You hear me? Your haters is your marketing team.
Now, there's not much of a hype train for this fight. I don't feel like there's a hype train. I think what Bill Haney is trying to do is build up the hype train. I do believe people want to see this fight because it's two adverse skill sets, you know, two skill sets that are kind of far apart. You know, normally knockout artists don't do well versus skilled boxers or purist boxers, but I think in this situation, Gervonta Davis is not just a knockout artist. He has boxing skill. So I think a lot of people feel like, you know, it's the skilled boxer, it's the talented boxer versus the heavy-handed puncher versus the knockout artist. And I think that's the real appeal of this fight. At the end of the day, is there a huge hype train like the Errol Spence Crawford hype train or the Maypac hype train? No, and I think that could potentially be a good thing. Sometimes things that are fresh, they're more interesting to the fans because the fans didn't have to wait as long to get those fights.
The fuck's your problem?
And sometimes you gotta have those long hype trains because there's not enough casual fans interested in the fight. And I think this Devin Haney-Gervonta Davis fight kind of falls in between that. You know, there's a lot of fans that are like Gervonta Davis, once again, because of his knockouts. And there's a lot of fans that hate Gervonta Davis because they don't think he's as good as his record entails. And then I think it's the same thing for Devin Haney. There's a lot of people that like him because of his skill sets, but there's a lot of people that feel like he lost to Vasyl Lomachenko, so his record isn't as, you know, good as people want to believe it is.
CW, I meant to talk to you. Damn. I know I've been asking for a lot of this recently, and I had got into it with the dog. He had me fucked up. Hey, C-Dub, come on, bro. C-Dub, listen. CW, listen to me, bro. I need another real quick. I'm just gonna be on consignment, man.
I do feel like that there's going to be a lot of interest in this fight. I just don't know if the hype train is as big as a Spence versus Crawford hype train or even a Gervonta Davis-Ryan Garcia hype train. Now, I know both of these guys are more popular. You know, they're a lot more popular. Nobody's more popular than Ryan Garcia for some reason. But in the boxing world, these guys are a lot more popular than a guy like Ryan Garcia. And there's a lot more people that feel like either or could win this fight. So it might not need as much casual interest because there's a lot more purist boxing fans want to be involved in this fight. So, you know, I think there's two different perspectives to be looked at when it comes to this fight. But me personally, do I think that it is a bigger draw or it's a bigger super fight than the Errol Spence Crawford fight? I would say no. I think because of the hype train that fight had going along with it, it's right behind Maypac. You know, even though Maypac blew that fight out of the water, I think the hype train was actually as big as the Maypac hype train was because it got built up for so long and fans were so invested within that fight. Now, I don't think that there's a lot of fans invested in this fight. I do think people want to see it, but are people willing to pay for it? I'm not sure. And then you got the whole situation with, you know, it's not on Showtime. How's this whole Amazon Prime thing going to work out? You know, are people really going to purchase that? So there's a lot of new things to be considered when it comes to the Devin Haney, Gervonta Davis fight, to where there wasn't all these things to be considered with the Terrence Crawford Errol Spence fight. And I just feel like that this fight not being for undisputed, that's also going to take away from the whole allure of that fight. I think a lot of the allure of the Errol Spence Crawford fight had to do with the undisputed status and trying to figure out who was the best welterweight, of this generation. So, taking all that into consideration, I think it's going to be a big fight. I think it can do 1 million pay-per-view buys, but I don't think the hype train is going to be anywhere near as big as the Spence versus Crawford.
Every single label, Kevin Lyles, all of them, every single label, they all said no. And he becomes one of the greatest rappers alive. So my PST is I'm never going to shop anyone or listen to anyone again. Those are the same people that are up under this that said that he was too old, rapped too fast, and dressed corny. To Warner, to Def Jam, we had to do it ourselves. For me, I learned don't listen to nobody. Because if I would have listened to them, there would be no Jay-Z, because he wasn't going to do it. There would be no rapping Jay-Z if it wasn't for me, 100,000%. Because he wasn't going to do what I did to make sure he got hurt. He was hustling. He could rap, but he didn't know business. How to leverage a celebrity, put it on a product yourself.
Y'all let me know what y'all think about all that down in the comment section below. Hit that like button for me. Share. Subscribe. Holler at me on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. But you're more than likely to get a response on the tube, so holler at me over there. If you want to collab or feature a product or your channel on my channel, feel free to hit my Gmail, because it is a flock of cards at gmail.com. We are Manny.
Now first of all, I'm looking for the perfect brawl. Tight skirt, no draws. Tat on the chest, tiger paw. Made me wanna pin her up against the wall. Hell no, would I ever hit raw? Hell no, at least that's what I would tell y'all. Is she with me cause I make me a y'all? Would she stick around if I fell off? I want a real chick, and it's some real shit. How about it real thick? Time to make a player bust real quick. But I'll be right back. Riding shotgun in a mean white lack. Hate when I'm gone, don't be like that. Make a bad chick switch team like Shaq. Let your hair down, kick your shoes off, break it down. You was talking tough, we gon' see if you can take it now. Hit you with the pie, hit you with the tongue. Fuck what you heard, you about to come with me. You about to come with me. Come on, you about to come with me. Come on, do you wanna come with me? Do you wanna come with me? Baby, you should come with me. You should come wherever you wanna go, baby. Rubbing on your back, why you so tense? Can't nobody see us, we sitting behind them tents. And let's role play. I'm the landlord. You the tenant, you behind on your rent. I'm bent, plenty money spent. You can tell by the scent, I'm blowing that peppermint green. Plenty cheese, nigga please. If she want it in the back, send her the key. Let your hair down, kick your shoes off, break it down. You was talking tough, we gon' see if you can take it now. Hit you with the pie, hit you with the tongue. Fuck what you heard, you about to come with me. You about to come with me. Come on, you about to come with me. Come on, do you wanna come with me? Do you wanna come with me? Baby, you should come with me.
Would you like to come with me to the
Place to be, basically hating me's wasting tea. I am me, I'm a beast, it is key. Louis King, ashtray full of roaches and a box of the Trojans with the gold wrapper. I be stroking, got her nose open. Average Joe's hoping I would leave his broad alone. I'm like, no, homie, she gotta go, homie. She wanna roll on it, dancing on my bed like it had a stripper pole on it. Let your hair down, kick your shoes off, break it down. You was talking tough, we gon' see if you can take it now. Hit you with the pie, hit you with the tongue. Fuck what you heard, you about to come